Let me show you one of our soundwall products. This is the Vowel Valley, and the Vowel Valley is organized by phoneme cards, mouth articulation cards, and grapheme cards. So each vowel sound has those three types of cards. Now, you'll notice that we've included many grapheme cards. We designed this Vowel Valley to be used with any Common Core curriculum. So you might find that there are graphemes that are not included in your curriculum, so you don't have to use those. Only use the graphemes that correspond to your curriculum. Now, the way that the Vowel Valley is organized is by mouth shape. And so you'll notice that it begins with the E, where the mouth is making more of a smile shape, and it moves down to the ah sound, which is more of an open mouth. And then it goes over across the board into more of a closed, rounded position to form the oo sound. So that's how the Vowel Valley is organized by mouth shape. Now, really the purpose of the Vowel Valley is to be a visual representation of the sounds in the language. So many of these sounds can be confusing to children. So for example, going from the I and the eh sound, oftentimes children will confuse those. So it's really important, it helps them to build that articulation of the sound so that they can then attach the grapheme, the written representation, to the sound. So while students are learning how to spell, this visual representation can remain up on the wall so that students can look back and refer to this as they're learning to spell words. Another piece to look at with the Vowel Valley is the diphthongs are located down at the bottom. So we have oi and ow. And then on the other side of the Vowel Valley, we have the R-controlled vowels. So this is how you would organize your Vowel Valley. And even if you don't get to all of these sounds in your curriculum, you can still post all of them up. Some students might be ready to learn these sounds before others, so it's perfectly okay to have all the sounds up, even if you're not teaching all of them that year. One thing that was really important when we were developing this Vowel Valley was to make it really versatile. So let me show you the other side of this Vowel Valley. We've designed these cards to have two different sides. That way they're really versatile and teachers can choose the type of image they'd like to use. There's an illustrated image of the mouths and the phoneme. So you've got a little cartoon representation that teachers can choose the cartoon that they would like to choose. Or if you want a more realistic representation, we've got a photo image of the mouth and a photo of the phoneme. We want teachers to be able to choose what works best for their students and their curriculum. So let me show you how to use the soundwall for instruction. So if I were going to be teaching the ah sound, like in apple, I would start off without the grapheme cards. So I'm just going to remove these because when you're beginning to teach a sound, you're going to want to just teach using the visual representation of the phoneme and the mouth articulation card. You're going to start with those first before you attach the grapheme to it. You want students to experience the sounds and really identifying them in words before you go into attaching the grapheme. So an example might be having students notice the mouth articulation of ah. And notice the way that their mouth is forming, notice the position of the tongue, where their teeth are, really have them identify exactly how the mouth is positioned for the ah sound. Then you might have them start listening to where do you hear the ah sound in the word apple. For apple, it's the first sound in the word. Then you might choose some words where the ah sound is in the middle, like in cat, k, at. And then you might choose a word where the ah sound is towards the end of the word. So picking different types of words so that students hear that sound in different positions and really be able to identify it in words. You might have them identify objects or items in the room that have an ah sound. You really want them to experience that sound and then add the grapheme to it. Now, once you've taught the grapheme ah, in the word sat, you could introduce this and put this up on the board. We've also designed these cards to be double-sided. So on the reverse side of the card, it gives you some examples of words that can be spelled with the A spelling using this grapheme. We've also included on the card the percentage. So this grapheme shows that 90% of the time, "a" will be spelled with an A. So that way you can see the most common ways that the sound is spelled. And it helps students to know when they're referencing this later for spelling what the most common spelling is. And we've organized the graphemes by most common spelling. So that way you're going from the most common to the least common spelling. So one other feature that I'd like to point out with this Vowel Valley is that some of the mouths have two positions. And the reason we did that is because when you're forming the A sound, your mouth moves slightly. A. It kind of slightly shifts. The same with the I. It kind of shifts slightly, and that helps students with being able to articulate that sound and recognize the difference between that sound and other sounds. So we wanted to make it as clear as possible with that articulation. As I've said, we've really designed these products to be used with any core curriculum. But if you have any questions or want to learn more about any of our products, please visit pdxreading.com.